You have an incredible idea. It's a game changer. It makes perfect sense in your mind and translates well on paper, except when you try to explain it verbally, it ends up being a garbled, incoherent mess. It's not always easy getting a complex idea across, Luxers, which is why we've made this video, 15 smart ways to communicate complex ideas, to help you formulate the idea so when it's time to make a pitch, you nail it. We hope you find this list useful. If you do, please let us know by leaving us a thumbs up, subscribing, and hitting the bell notification to be alerted when new videos are released. Alright, let's get started. Number 1. Don't fall prey to the curse of knowledge. It sounds like a sci-fi horror storybook, and it could be. There's absolutely nothing wrong with knowledge, but when we're trying to convey an important idea or concept, getting caught up in all the jargon or shop talk may not resonate well with your audience. The concept of the curse of knowledge was introduced by Chip and Dan Heath in their book called Made to Stick, which is just a novel way of saying we know too much about this topic. So it's important to not take shortcuts in your explanation, assuming the audience knows something already, and avoid the technical jargon that may go over their heads. If you'd like to check out this book yourself, you can get it for free on Audible by going to alux.com/freebook and signing up. Alright, so how can we avoid this curse of knowledge? Let's find out some more. Number 2. The Twitter test. When putting pen to paper while writing out your introduction, keep it short and sweet, no more than 50 words. Thereafter, use the Twitter test and keep each point to 140 words or less. Sure, some points will be longer, but it's a good benchmark to guide yourself while you're preparing your thoughts. Being concise is key when communicating complex ideas or theories. In our video, 15 Skills All CEOs Master, we use the word brevity, which means writing or speaking in a short, concise, and clear manner. Number 3. Keep the information orderly. Luxers, you've probably heard this 1,000 times before. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And when it comes to communicating complex topics, how you put the information forward is key. You need to break the information down into bite-sized pieces and present them in a sequence that makes them flow into each other. It gives the listener a chance to absorb each point and understand how they all fit together. Number 4. Give a relatable example of a problem that can be fixed. To resonate with your target audience, share a problem that most would have experienced at some point in their life. Once you've got them thinking about the problem, provide them with a solution. The actual solution might be complicated, but the problem they experience is remembered, and the thought of a solution sounds pretty appealing, so they'll hear you out. Number 5. Make it easy for people to refer to your idea. This could be through webinars, tutorials, online reading, or even Instagram. It doesn't matter, as long as you've made it possible for people to read up on your idea or concept in their own space and time. This is also a wonderful opportunity to make yourself available to questions, concerns, or suggestions others might have for you. Constructive criticism is a good thing. It could make you realize an important bit of information that you missed. And if the thought of creating a place for your ideas to live online feels out of your wheelhouse, don't worry. Learning how to do it doesn't have to be daunting. We've just launched our latest premium experience called Learning Mastery. This 21-day course guides you through how to teach yourself anything with confidence. You can enroll today by going to alux.com/learn. Number 6. Create visuals. Smallbusiness.com gives several reasons why visuals are so impactful when giving a presentation, whether it's in front of a big audience or just in a boardroom. The main reason why we encourage visuals when communicating complex ideas is to create a little excitement over things like figures or technical jargon that can often be the reason people switch off. Visuals help your audience to understand and remember the information you're conveying. And if you were to think of the most important bits you would like your audience to remember, here's a tip. Number 7. The power of 3. People tend to take home 3 facts from a presentation or discussion. Which 3 do you want them to remember most? Consider using visuals to highlight the 3 most important pieces of information so you have a greater chance of retention within your audience. And speaking of, number 8, know your audience. Naturally, if you're delivering your complicated idea to academics in the field, you can go straight ahead with the data and statistics or figures and market changes. But if you're not, it's best to rethink your approach. It's important to note, however, that understanding your audience isn't a guarantee that your message will be understood. As pointed out by Customer.com, with COVID-19 creating a ripple of economy uncertainty, consumers' needs, motivations, and behaviors have changed. Old rules no longer apply. Businesses must reassess what they know. Excuse our use of a tired cliche, but knowing your audience is a journey, not a destination. Number 9. Back up your ideas with strong examples and case studies. This leaves little room for doubt with your audience. When you can validate or substantiate your information, it makes you more credible and believable. You can use case studies, examples, documentary evidence, scientific proof, whatever you need to support your claims. Just make sure the facts are not exaggerated and your proof is legit. Number 10. Become a raconteur. So often people will comment on how they'd make an excellent radio presenter because they have so much to say. But in fact, they would make a terrible radio presenter because they have so much to say. A great radio presenter can tell a story well without mincing words and without the story dragging on forever. Now that's what you need to do when explaining your complicated idea. Tell a great story, but don't waffle on and on and on. Number 11. Back of the napkin concept. There's a book by Dan Roam called The Back of the Napkin, where Roam argues that a simple drawing done on the back of a napkin can be more powerful than any Excel spreadsheet or PowerPoint presentation. It all boils down to a theme, which we've picked up on by now: keeping things simple, easy to understand, and relatable. Number 12. Put yourself in your audience's shoes. According to Fortune.com, the average adult attention span has plummeted from 12 minutes a decade ago to just 5 minutes now. 5 minutes is not a lot of time to try and get a complicated point across, now is it? Think about your audience. Are you presenting information just before they go to lunch or head home? Have they just come out of a stressful situation, or are they dealing with a lot personally? We can speculate about these things, but when you can, try to be strategic and convey the information when your audience can give you their undivided attention. It'll be more valuable for everyone. Number 13. State the fundamentals. What do we mean by the fundamentals? Let's pretend we're back in school and you're learning math. Your teacher would provide you with the basics and then build on those theories. The same goes with communicating a complex idea. You'd start by sharing the fundamentals and then build your way up to the more complex parts of the idea. And remember, all within 5 minutes, so pick out those 3 important facts we mentioned earlier wisely. Number 14. Be transparent about the risks and clear about the consequences. Don't pretend that everything is perfect or you know everything. Rather, play open cards with your audience and tell them everything. It's important to know the possible risks and factors and the potential consequences. You might think this would put people off of your idea, but the opposite is actually true. People would rather know that you're 100% aware of the pros and cons and know what you're going to do to alleviate the risks you've highlighted. Being transparent does your idea more good than harm. Always remember that. Number 15. Compare the past with the present. A good old-fashioned comparison works wonders when communicating a complex idea. It's simple and effective. Bring forward something from the past and how that example has either gotten better or worse over time. And if you can, explain how that example will get worse if your idea is not implemented, or better if it is implemented. And try to stick to positive facts for the future, as everyone responds better to positivity than negativity. So, we're curious. What has helped you share a complex idea? We love hearing your thoughts in the comments, and we'll be right there with you. And of course, you stay with us until the end. Here's your bonus. Be calm. Yes, easier said than done, we know, but remember that people mirror your actions. Have you ever watched a guest speaker that was so nervous you physically felt their pain, discomfort, and sweat? It's awful. So if just introducing yourself in a group discussion fills you with dread, then best you take some action and start getting comfortable with it. If your idea is a great one, as complicated as it may be, you don't want to lose out on its potential just because you were too afraid to even say your name.